Well, I took her up to the store and we had a little leak, and it was right at the spout, right where the spout goes into the gas tank, which is not too unusual. But I figured I could probably get in there and tighten that up pretty easy, so I decided to bring her right back home, just get right up under it and see if I couldn't fix that right quick. I believe I got all the gas tank problems straightened out, and what it really came down to was this little connector right here was wore out, and I had to make several trips to the hardware store and the tractor store and everything, trying clamps and things, and I figured out the whole thing was busted. And luckily the hardware store had a plumbing connector that worked, so I'm going to go back out and fill her up again, make sure she don't leak. And if that works, then I'll be happy, and I'll call it a day and get cleaned up. I'll pour it for a while. Well, me and Big Betsy's had a fine old day. We got the gas tank leak fixed, got the gas line working, got the fuel gauge working, got the back end of the car coated in fluid film. I guess the only thing wrong, if there is anything much wrong, is that the gas gauge, when it's full, it shows a little over half a tank, about 3/4 of a tank. Now that's fixable. It's a sending unit right there, and there's a hole in here, and if it's possible to get these screws out and get this thing out of here, I could probably bend that arm a little bit. Because what happens on a sending unit is when it's all the way up, it's full. When it's all the way down, it's empty. I noticed that arm seemed like it didn't have really the ability to travel all that much, and I think that's what's going on here. On the other hand, I can just leave it like it is. Every time she gets down to showing empty, just fill her up again, and that way I'll never have to worry about running out of gas, because I'll still have quite a few gallons in there when she's showing empty, and I like that just fine. So with that said, I think I'm gonna let her sit in here this evening and just relax. And it's sunny out. I ain't expecting rain, so I can leave the hot rod out. I remember showing y'all about how tight these wheels were fitting up in under those wheel wells. Well, this was what I had in there for a spare. That's a Ford wheel and it fits. It's a 14-inch, but it won't go between the brake drum and that fender well. I think what I need is one of them little donut spares with a Ford 5-lug Ford bolt pattern. I think that's 4.5 inches. So I suppose if I had one of them, it would do for a spare. This one wouldn't, because you never would be able to get it on that back wheel there. So I don't know. That's not the biggest worry in the world I have, but I don't have any worries. I'm very happy with this old girl. Some guy at the store, I had to sign on it, and guy walked up and said, "What do you want for it?" I forgot to sign it up, and I said, "Oh, no, I forgot. It ain't for sale. I just forgot to take the sign down." So that's the way I'm feeling. It ain't for sale. Sorry. I've had too much time to look at it and think about it to decide to leave her go. So I'm going to keep working on it because it's fun to work on. So I got a good bit of fluid film left here. I think I got enough to do front end. So I'll just leave that sit till tomorrow. I'm going to leave it in here. Tomorrow I'll come out here and get her up and we'll do the front end of her. And I'm sure there's a few other things on my list that I could work on this big girl. So we might get into some other things too. You know, nice as the day is, I got a good mind just to jump in the hot rod and just ride around a little bit. That'd be nice. Be a nice way to finish off the end of the day, wouldn't it?